love that bumper music. Lions named Leo from Bakersfield, California. We're back. This is Minding Your Business with the Lancaster Chamber of Commerce. I'm Chris Spiker of Antelope Valley Florist.
I'm Aaron Goldstein from Goldstein Digital. Our second guest today is Larry Coltin from Waddell and Reed Financial Advisors.
Hey, Larry.
Hi. How you doing, Chris?
Really good. Let me move this mic up a little bit closer. I don't want you hiding behind it, but I want to make sure we hear you.
Oh, thank you.
You've lived in the Antelope Valley for a while.
Yeah, we moved here in 1984. We stole a house. I hadn't planned to live here, but I got such a great deal on a house at the time. I figured I could live here a year.
How many did you buy?
Just one.
Just one, okay. Because you could have bought 6.
Well, after 3 years, after 3 months, my wife announced to me, "This is my home, and I love it here. If you want to move, fine, but I'm staying here." So I commuted for 15 years.
Wow. Okay, so you've got a wife. And who else is in the family?
I've got 4 boys and 5 grandchildren now, 2 of them this year.
Wow.
And we're growing like weeds. It's a lot of fun. I could not imagine several years ago how much fun it would be to be a grandfather.
This has all happened so suddenly. You moved here and you're living here and 4 boys and 5 grandkids?
Yeah, since 1984. Not necessarily suddenly, but I've grown into it.
And what's the goose that lays the golden eggs? Tell me about your career.
Oh, well, I worked for Wells Fargo for 29 years, 25 good years. The last 4 were sort of challenging because management changed and they went to a direction I didn't agree with.
Yeah, well.
I've always been what they used to preach. If you take care of your clients, you never have to worry about having more clients. And that's the way I operate today. After that, I worked in the mortgage business for a little while. I didn't like the mortgage business. And then I worked for the U.S. government. I took a break and worked for the U.S. government for a year. I ran our local census office here.
Right.
And hired 1,200 people, did the census and wrapped it up. And it was a lot of fun. I met a lot of good people. And a friend of mine told me I should get into investments. And with my background, that was fine. And I had a financial advisor of my own. So I realized the importance of that relationship. Mm-hmm. So I studied hard. I got my licenses, and I still study hard. And I work hard for my clients, and I really enjoy what I do, and I help some people.
And what does it take to be a good financial planner? more than working for Wells Fargo for 29 years, I'm sure.
Well, I've learned from the school of hard knocks, I think. Many years ago, I attended Cal State Northridge and got a degree in business management. But more than that, I learned from my experience with people at Wells Fargo and in the mortgage business and at the Census Bureau and from my own personal financial advisor. And it's just a lot of common sense and philosophies that you develop over years and years of time. I know, not that I'm better than anybody else, most people can do this on their own, but the reason I had my own financial advisor is I was pursuing my career. I didn't have time to do this, so I offloaded it to someone I could trust.
Right.
And that's what I'm looking to do to help with people now.
How did you get hooked up with Waddell and Reed?
Well, their philosophy aligns with mine quite a bit. They've been in business since 1937. And they've got that old-time philosophy that I espouse. If you do a great job for your clients, you never have to worry about having more clients. And they very much embody that philosophy, and I enjoy working there tremendously. I've got a lot of freedom. They don't tell me what to do. They just provide the backbone of the company, the assets and the computerization and all the other things you need clerically to run a company.
And they didn't want a company called Coltin and Smith.
Well, there's Weston and Smith on the boulevard, but no, they didn't. Waddell and Reed is a fine company, and I'm proud to be associated with them.
And thank you very much for coming on the show today and for being a member of the Lancaster Chamber. That's probably answers my next question. How do you tell people about your business? You joined the Lancaster Chamber. What was involved in that decision?
Well, I opened my office 2 doors down from them, so they kept hounding me. That had a lot to do with the decision.
Right.
But I'm a member of the Palmdale Chamber, the Lancaster Chamber, the Quartz Hill Chamber. Mm-hmm. I'm a member of the Kiwanis Club of Palmdale and the League of Women Voters. And I talk to people. I get a lot of referral business from my current client base, and that's what I do. And I network, and I talk to people, and I tell them what I do. And some people are interested, and some people refer people to me, and we form relationships. It's a great way to do business, I think. Probably similar to the flower business.
Kind of like, yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
I don't drink anymore, and I don't play golf, but I go to chamber meetings and meet people, and sometimes you sit across from them for 10 years before they go, "What do you do?"
What do you do?
Yeah, maybe I can use your goods and services. In fact, I think that's how you and I met, was through the Kiwanis duck races.
Possibly.
Every year you would come in smiling.
We started, the Kiwanis Club of Palmdale started the duck races.
They started the duck races.
Yep. And it's been going ever since. Palmdale West now runs it. And it's a great event. And I enjoy it a lot. I still go and participate in it. I'm not directly involved with it anymore, though.
So you would come in to the flower shop with a duck under your arm that you knew you were leaving with me.
That's right.
For $100.
For $100, and you sponsored our race.
Yeah,
and
big smile on your
tremendously.
face.
Yes, no, you're always very generous. I appreciate that, Chris.
Where did you get that smile? Was that like
my smile?
Yeah. Is that from like a grandmother or?
Probably from my
it's-
mother.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you very much.
Yeah. Well, that's 29 years in the banking business, so hopefully you're not working as hard as you did when you were at Wells Fargo.
Well, people ask me, how come I work so hard? How come I work so hard? Because I did work hard. But I didn't think of it as work because I enjoyed what I was doing so much. It wasn't work. I thought I was having a good time. I didn't know I was working. And I'm doing the same thing today. And I'm sure it's fun to go to the chamber and mix and talk to folks and find out what's going on in their lives and try and be helpful.
And 15 years up and down that freeway.
Yes. That wasn't bad. It was many years ago, and it wasn't as bad as it is today.
Not crowded.
Yeah, not as crowded. And we've become a part of the community here, especially my wife. All her friends are here. She works at the high school, and she knows all the kids and all the children's kids. And they're starting to come back and go to school with her now. And she said, your father used to be a student here.
Wow.
So
isn't that fun?
It is.
To have the different generations.
It is. There is something to be said for growing old in a beautiful community like this.
Beautiful community. Thank you. I told my wife, Lors, that I was going to be talking to you today, and she gave me some questions for you.
Uh-oh. I brush every day, Lors.
And floss, right?
Yes.
Lors is a dentist. She says, have Larry give young people some advice on finances.
Well,
I know you can't give advice, but
it's people ask me, how do you do it? Okay, it's not that difficult.
There you go. It's not that difficult.
You get a job. Number one.
Yeah.
Earn some money. Don't spend all the money you earn, and invest the rest. It's very simple. And if you start out young, you can become wealthy in time, and you've got a lot of time in front of you, and it's fun. If you're 55 and haven't started, it's a little more challenging.
Yeah.
But there are things we can do to be helpful.
Now, you could, at 55, you may not have the energy, but you may have a lot of time. You just don't know. You may have another 30 years.
Oh, yeah, I expect longevity to go way up. Yes.
Yeah.
No, I'm very optimistic about the future. I think in the changes we've seen in the last 10 years when the iPhone was first introduced to our culture now is completely different. iPhone focused, everybody's talking on the phone. I think the next 3 years are going to be just as transformative as the last 10 years. So I am invested heavily in technology and startups and things of this type. And a lot of my clients are all invested the way I am. I don't do to my clients anything I don't do to myself.
Yeah.
I follow
like if
my
you don't
own
believe
advice.
in it, why are you telling
Absolutely.
others? Yeah.
I do exactly what I would expect
How about
my
the
clients
Bitcoins?
to do. Well, there were a lot of millionaires with Beanie Babies, too.
Right. And there's a lot of people with an attic full of Beanie Babies.
Yeah, I saw one once, and he was unloading this cases and cases of these plastic things with little dolls. And I'm like, what is this? What is this? And it dawned on me, those are Beanie Babies. And he couldn't afford to lose money, but
Yeah, he's going to.
that's the way it was.
Yeah.
He did.
Where else do I see you in the community? Livestock auction, Kiwanis Livestock Auction over at the fair?
Yes, I participate in that with the Kiwanis Club every year, so that's a lot of fun.
That's for the kids.
That's for the kids.
Kids and
Yep.
families, and where does our food come from?
And the Kiwanis, we sponsor key clubs at the high school level, which develops leadership. And I'm on the scholarship committee there as well. The Kiwanis gives out scholarships to graduating seniors. We've probably given out over $100,000 in scholarships in the last 10 years.
In the Antelope Valley.
Right?
Right?
Here, yeah. And we sponsor Student of the Month Award, which is very exciting. The Kiwanis does.
Every month.
We'll recognize outstanding students from 3 different high schools. And it's just hard to pick. There are so many great students, so many great young people. And all we hear about, of course, are the malcontents are the ones that do bad, but we don't hear, they don't get enough recognition. And the reason I know they don't get enough recognition, for the small effort we put forth, we have a banquet when we recognize them and we say nice things about them, and they're so grateful for this recognition that it's apparent to me they don't get recognized enough. And we have a great future in front of us, and I'm very optimistic, as I said.
You know, the next time you have one of those dinners, and the parents are invited, of course.
Parents and the counselors, yes.
Well, I'd like to donate a rose to each of the moms.
Well, that's
You
very
make
nice
a little
of you.
list, a little number, 10 of them, 12 of them.
Okay.
Don't
thank
make
you.
it Valentine's 100 bombs are coming.
Okay.
Yeah, right.
You're very generous, Chris. I appreciate it.
The parents are so important.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
Talking with Larry Coltin, Waddell, and Reed. What's your contact information?
My best phone number is 661-993-9346. My office is at 540 West Lancaster Boulevard.
Thank you, Larry. We'll be right back.